Hello, my name is Jana. Today I'd like to give you an overview of our comprehensive Baltic Payroll and HR solution, which is built on the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations platform. Our solution is primarily aimed at medium and large employers across the Baltics. It offers efficient HR management, fast and compliant payroll processing, and extensive process automation. The payroll solution used in Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania supports not only local languages but also English. This ensures a comfortable user experience in an international work environment.
As mentioned earlier, OIXIO Payroll and HR is built on the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations platform. You can log into the system via web browser. You will arrive at the homepage. On the left side, there is a vertical main menu. Under the modules, you will find OIXIO Payroll module, developed by OIXIO for payroll processing in Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, and is compliant with the legislation of these countries. Next to the module, a sub-menu opens, allowing navigation to deeper levels. All sub-elements can be expanded or collapsed or opened individually. Any menu items can be added to your favorites by marking it with a star. This allows users to quickly and conveniently access frequently used menu items later. Favorites are also visible under the main menu section, Favorites. This is the user personal area, which each user can customize according to their needs. On the homepage, you will also find workspaces. These are Microsoft-created workspaces, which contains the most important menu items based on the topics or areas. You can also create your own areas. For example, I have created OIXIO Payroll Management workspace, where I have added elements, data lists, and links according to my personal needs. On the top right corner, we will find the company we are currently working in. There may be more companies listed here if you have access to multiple ones. The list of companies opens from here, allowing you to switch to another company. Under Settings, you can access the user options, where each user can set to their default preferences, color theme, size, as well as language and country regional preferences. The system allows customization of the data displayed on the screen according to each user's needs. For example, let's open Contracts, which was previously added to Favorites. From here, you can access the personalization function, where you can, for example, hide columns, add columns, move columns, but there is also a possibility to personalize with a right mouse click. If a column is unnecessary, you can hide this column. If needed, you can add missing columns. It is also possible to move columns from one place to another. You can export rows only, for example, export all rows or export marked rows to Excel. And you can also group the columns. For example, let's group columns by contract type. So you can see how many contracts there are with different status, different types. You can save as many different views as you like. Saved views can also be shared with others. by adding saved views to needed roles. This function can be used in all other system lists as well. The system also allows you to create custom alerts for based on different criteria. For example, let's take contract ID and when it is graded. You can easily manage all your configured alerts and edit or delete them as needed. Next, we move on to the organizational structure. The company structure consists of jobs, departments, and positions, which are graded before recruiting employees. Let's begin with a list of departments. Each department includes details such as department name, department number, structural unit, search name, also addresses and contract information. It's also possible to define default financial dimensions, which will be inherited by the position once the department link is established. Financial dimensions can be created according to the company's needs. Currently we use 2, but more can be added. Once a department is entered, it can be added to the department hierarchy. In this case, the department is already in the hierarchy and we can display its exact location within the company structure. The hierarchy can be edited and saved, and different saved versions can be viewed later. Now let's move on to the list of jobs. Opening a job shows the information that can be described. Job name, job short description, title, full-time equivalent, but also a longer description, as well as different job classifications, compensations, skills, certificates, tests, education, screenings, job tasks, and areas of responsibility. And now let's move on to the positions menu. Under positions you can see and move to different lists: active positions, open positions, inactive positions, all positions, and position hierarchy. Let's open active positions list. This list shows all positions across companies you have access to. You can save a personal view by displaying only the companies you are currently working in. Opening a position shows general information, for example, position ID, description in English if needed, associated job and department, position title, and so on. Also position duration information, which position does this position report to, worker assignment. This example empty since this position has not been assigned to any employees yet. Default financial dimensions, but this can be changed from here as well. There is also some functionalities you can use on the position view. You can copy position using the copy position button. You can choose how many copies to create, activation date, and whether to include links and financial dimensions. Under the changes timeline, you can view changes. In this example, position type has been changed. And you can manage changes. Position details, position worker assignments, right now empty as no employee has been assigned to this position as mentioned before. Position durations, position hierarchies. If the position is vacant, as it is right now, you can start hiring directly by clicking the button Hire. When hiring, you enter the employee's first name, last name, worker type, employment start date. If it is fixed term contract, you can also enter the end date. If hiring is initiated from the position view, the position details are automatically filled. And all connections made between worker and position once clicked on hire. No need to re-enter the position information. You can also assign onboarding checklists which are customizable to each company. Besides onboarding checklists, you can also configure offboarding and transactions checklists as well. Now let's move on to employee menu, which like positions includes various lists. Workers, all active workers regardless of their contract type. Employees, all active employees with work contract. Contractors, all active contractors with labor contract. Past workers whose contract has been terminated. Pending workers whose contract has not been activated yet. Stopped workers, for example, on parental leave. And contracts, all contracts regardless of statuses. Let's open workers list. You can start adding new employee from here as well via the new button. But when moving from here, you must also assign position unless hiring was initiated from the position view we looked earlier. You can filter employees by contract status and type. For example, selecting not approved contracts shows only employees with unconfirmed contracts. Let's return to active contracts regardless of contract type. Clicking on employee's name, we move to employee card. On the employee card view, it is possible to add a list of employees on the left side, which makes it convenient to navigate between different employees. On the right side, additional information is hidden, which can be opened as needed. Related information, employment history, current position information, but also loans, skills, goals. There is also additional filtering option available here, where data can be filtered based on various criteria, and necessary filters can be also added. Employee card shows all employee data shared across the group, meaning personal data only needs to be entered once, even if the employee works in multiple companies. The header displays the employee's photo if it is uploaded, name, personal number, contract and position info in current company. If a phone number or email is entered, action buttons appear to send an email or start a Teams call or chat. Under the Profile tab, you will find worker summary information, name details with the change worker name options and the name history, employee addresses, contact information, and personal information. Under Work History tab, you will see employment and probation dates. If employees working in multiple companies, then other company employment details are visible here as well, with possibility to select employment record and move to the other company. Let's move back to our previous company. The Contracts tab shows all contracts belonging to the selected employment record. You can conveniently move between contracts if employee has more than one contract. On right side, you can see selected contract details, contract termination information, employment details, and financial dimensions. You can activate or revert contracts to not confirmed statuses. You can edit employment dates or trial period dates, or you can terminate contract. If a contract is terminated but not yet finalized, you can restore it. Then the Restore button is active. You can also delete a contract if no payroll entries exists. Then Delete button is active. Under Positions, you'll see Assigned Positions and can add assignment, edit assignment, or end assignment. Under Links, you will find frequently used shortcuts for quick access to actions. On the top ribbon, it can be opened and pinned for more convenient usage. Under Options, you can access personalization and notifications. Under General, you will find cases. Under Compliance, you can describe, for example, accommodations. For example, this employee needs a wheelchair for movement. Under Benefits, you will find related benefit actions. Under Personal, you can view or enter personal information, competencies, and development. Under Payroll, you will find for example, rate lines. This employee has monthly salary, but it can be different. Then Open Transactions, those are one-time payments or deductions, what can be added to employee. Income tax-free information about can be inserted, and you can also attach relevant application to the record. Different attachments can be added throughout the system. Under Calculations, you will see posted and open calculations. For example, posted calculations entries for previous months and open calculations for current month. You can also see the calculation information from here. Gross salary, different taxes, and net salary. Under Absences, you will see absences, planned absences, and vacation balances. Let's move to absences. Different absence types are configurable, and you can add different absences to employees. You can move to vacation balances through absences. Balances can be viewed by date or by balance type. You can also access sick notes from absences list. Here you can generate sick notes query. If integration with eState is established with a health insurance fund in Estonia, all actions can be performed directly from the payroll system. Under Worked time, you can enter or import working hours. Under Contract, you will find contract groups which are important for tax calculations and employment records submitted to the TER registry in Estonia. If using the OIXIO eState interface, you can exchange data with the registry without logging in separately. Under Work, you will find personal actions, work details, changes timeline, related information, transactions, with option to settle open transactions or edit closed ones. Now let's move on to the payroll processing menu items, where all various calculations can be calculated and executed. From the Journals menu, you can access journals which are used to enter one-time bonuses or deductions. Earlier we saw where to enter one-time payments for a selected employee. Here you can enter payments for all employees more conveniently from one place, or you can also import payments to this journal from an Excel file. Under Posted Journals, you can view previously entered journals. From calculation journals, you can open new payroll calculation journal. You can select different types of payroll calculations depending on what you want to process. For example, month calculation, interim calculation, vacation calculation, and so on. You define the calculation date, payment date, and description. On the payroll calculation journal lines, employees can be selected based on certain criteria. For example, you can select by open transactions or absences, but you can also pull in all company employees without any restrictions, or you can select contract by contract group ID or by department. Let's pull in all active employees. You can also delete employees from a calculation journal if you want. You can also add employees one by one by using the new button where employees can be added manually. Let's do that. Now you can calculate worker salary. Once a calculation is calculated for an employee, you can view the calculation information. You can also cancel the calculation. For example, when it is needed to add some missing bonuses or absences or change the salary amount for employee or so on. And after all needed modifications have done for the employee, you can recalculate. And then see the calculation information once again. You can also print calculation transactions to see which accounts in the general ledger the calculated payments are posted to. You can also print predefined payslips and paysheets. Payslips can be also sent directly from the system to the employees' email addresses, but you can also print them out on screen. Once everything is correct in the calculation journal, it can be posted. And it will then appear in the list of posted calculations, posted journals. Posted journals can also be cancelled if necessary. After posting the calculation journal, you can create a payment journal. To do this, create a new payment journal. Open it and click on the payment proposal. You can choose whether to include open transactions or some transactions. Some transactions combine all unpaid amounts for an employee payment in one SEPA file. Once payment lines are added to the journal, you can generate the SEPA payment file by clicking the Generate Payments button. Now let's move on to the reporting section. All entered employees and the payroll data can be extracted through various reports and queries in both the Human Resources module and OIXIO Payroll module. For example, let's open Human Resources module. Here you can access to additional inquiries which provide you different reports, for example, employee information summary, employee contract information, employees' education, absences, and so on. On the OIXIO payroll module, you will find various payroll-related inquiries and reports. Under inquiries, you can see active contracts and lines, for example, active rate lines, memberships, different imported data and verb services logs. Under reports, you will find external and internal reporting. In the external reporting section, you will find state and statistics reports based on the company's region. Currently, we see Estonian reports as we are in Estonian company. In the internal reporting, you can see, for example, average per calendar day, different work time reports, calculation reports. You can also send payslips, like periodic payslips to employees' emails via this button. There are also reports to absences and transactions. Under periodic, you will find periodic journals, income tax-free information, data import menu items, work time related actions, tax reporting. Since we are in Estonian company, Estonian tax reports are shown here. You can submit tax reports directly to the tax office via the e-state interface with a single click send button. Also, under periodic, you can find retired persons functionality and Estonian funded pension query, which allows you to run the query for all employees at once and also set up an automatic query at the desired interval. Other periodic actions include absence and vacation balance operations, e-state interface menu items, and other, including self-service related actions if you're using OIXIO self-service as well.
With that, I'll wrap up for now. I hope this gave you a good overview of the payroll and personnel product. If you're interested, have any additional questions, or would like more details, please feel free to contact us. Thank you for listening.